There we go.
Wow, that was definitely some powerful information. I definitely learned a lot from that. I really enjoyed it. And thank you everybody for joining us today. I'm Kyla Ahmad, and I have the pleasure and the honor of introducing a powerful brother. Dennis Mott Jr. was raised in Chicago by his mother and father with an emphasis in excellence in the academics and sports. Dennis went on to training Marine Corps combat. During his time with Toyota, Dennis climbed up that corporate ladder from salesman to finance manager. And today, Dennis lives in sunny California. Dennis is a devoted and loving son, big brother, and father to his 3 beautiful daughters and grandchildren. Dennis has a travel business, sharing and showing people how to travel, have fun, and make money. Dennis is also a skilled photographer. His skills shine through the many pictures of family and friends, as well as his travel adventures at home and abroad. Dennis is unapologetically Black. Dennis also markets products made by various Black businesses for Black people. And I present to you, brothers and sisters, Dennis Mott Jr.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kai, out of New York. Really appreciate that. I hope you all got a lot out of that. You know, the Majesty of the Moors part two. Excellent. Let's see. Somebody got okay. All right. Let's see. All right, we're gonna get started. Let me pull something up right quick if I can. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me a sec. Here we go. All right, that is me. Folks, I hope you guys had a great time here. I love what we just watched. I always say mental slavery is the worst form of slavery. It gives you the illusion of freedom, makes you trust, love, and defend your oppressor while making an enemy of those who are trying to free you or open your eyes. And we had a great documentary right there, which everything that says in that picture that's right here, you see it right in that video that we just watched. Man, we got to open our eyes. It says, open your eyes and tune your ears to know what you're seeing and understanding about what you hear. And here's Brother Chiki says, when brothers receive the call to consciousness, they gather around to organize. I'm gonna say brothers and sisters, Black people all together, we gather around to organize. As Marcus Garvey said, if we as a people realize the greatness from which we came, we would be less likely to disrespect ourselves. So let's have self-respect for one another. Let's go ahead and have this conversation and dialogue about what we just saw. And of course, that's me and Brother Delzino, all the people, some of the people with Buy Black movement. We all are sticking power, sticking together, and we're doing this all as one, uniting, having group economics and just having things together as Black people, communicating together and making this a better place and nation building. We want to say thank you all for watching all of that. We got the Wakanda symbol up there, and all praises to the ancestors. I always say that. I leave my morning calls with the talk to our ancestors, and I love when he talked about the drums, because in Chicago we had this show thing they call From the Talking Drums of Africa. I love that. My blood, my people, my land, my crown is what is up above our head. Our blood is for the blood that we shed. My people is for the people that we are, our melanated skin. And the land is, of course, our Kebulon, or Africa, which we talked about a little later on. There's over 63,000 members and still rising in the Buy Black movement. As Brother Malcolm X said, our people have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting Black business. As we always say, Malcolm says it, everyone I know in history from our ancestors say we have to re-educate ourselves because we have been miseducated. Be Black, buy Black, think Black, and all else will take care of itself. Marcus Garvey said that, and he ended it with that as well. We have to think like that. Be Black, we are Black, buy from each other, think Black, and we all else will take care of everything else. Our family buys Black, does yours? Good question. You have to think about that. Does your family buy Black? Or are you out buying Tide instead of buying Black detergent? I'm just giving that for an example, and we need to do that on a broad spectrum, a broad scale. Teach them to have pride in their race. Teach your children to buy Black. He said about that, I think he talked about his mission, his family mission statement, and we all need to have that as well. Buy Black Movement, as you just seen. Go ahead and purchase from the Buy Black Movement. I'll have that up there a little later for you to see. We have to go out and pass the word, word of mouth marketing, word of mouth to our people, no matter what we do. I'm speaking to a brother right there from Africa. We all get along because they think one way, as he said, they've been taught, been miseducated, and we've been miseducated. So you and I have to be that pillar that brings each other together. We have to be that connection. You know, I say their walls turn sideways, build bridges, and we can't keep those walls up from Africa and African American. We are the melanated people, and we need to come together to educate one another so we can come to a connection and go ahead and build our nation together again. We have to speak out all the way to, you know, when I'm speaking at colleges and things abroad, you know, I'm doing it from the heart, just like Delzino sometimes. We want to make sure that we got the message sent to you so you can start to think and see what we have, like Dr. Chika Akua says. As Debbie says here, we built great civilizations. Now let's build our community by Black. And as I say, as a Black CEO, I am unapologetic about the unique distinction that I represent in the marketplace. And we have to be our own CEOs and have business together. And as you see the sister right there, we're global. Technology is not going anywhere. And we have to understand that technology is the way of the future. And we have to get aboard with that. We have the young children right now. Let them understand what we can do, and we can touch everyone. It says it used to be 6 degrees of separation with that world. And we have right there, everything is at your fingertips. And we can touch many people, not just here, but even to our continent of Africa as well. Martin Luther King says, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So always have your voice. Speak up. Don't just lay down for the program. Don't let somebody tell you or talk you out of what you really believe or what you want to do. We have to have dialogue and speak up. Don't be silent, because that's what the day we become silent, the day that our lives end. So the Majesty of the Moors, as we saw right here, this is a 2-part series right there, part 1 and part 2. I'll leave a link if you want to go on there and purchase them, with a lot of other things that we have offered on that as well. Okay. And if you want to look at the Bible, you want to look at the illustrated Bible, right? There's all Black images. As Chika said, the Old Testament, all Black people. We don't get to see our images in the Bible, like when he talked about the church, when he told, hey, you know, if there's a white person in the church, I have to say something. He's a Christian, but still the history is diagnosed right there, and we have to go ahead and stay true to who we are as well. So this is like a think tank, what we have here, and we have to put our minds on. I want to be able to go inside your mind and let you see what I have, as well as to hear what you have to offer and what you want to talk about as well. So as I said before, I'm going to pull this up, and we do have, if you do want to order anything, let's see, you can go out over here and purchase whatever you like. It's myself, we come to realize the only way our race will advance economically is to buy Black people, is buy Black people, buying from Black-owned businesses continuously on a massive scale. That means continuously, consistently. As a result, we've lost the Buy Black Movement program in order to get millions of Black people buying Black consistently. And when you do that, folks, if you want to go in there and get the DVDs, you want to get healthcare products, you know, if you are not already with the Buy Black Movement or any like that, you can go to my site, and there's other people out here that are. My site is dmjtag.biz. If you need anything, if you want to look at those videos again, if you want to purchase them, and when you do purchase something from there, it goes to feed at least 25 other Black families, and go ahead and contribute to our communities and help us to nation build as well. And if you also, he talked about going to Africa. You know, I'm a travel business as well. If you want to go travel the world, go do so. We could go anywhere else in the world. If you want to go ahead, you can go book your trips right there. I have it right there, dmjtag.club, dmjtag.com. If you want to go ahead and book stuff, if you want to go ahead and get to the travel industry, let me know. If you know anyone that's in the business that I'm in or the travel industry, get back with them, and they can also direct you to what you want to do as well. So we want to go ahead and be able to travel to Africa, go to trips, go around the world, see all kinds of things out there, and have a lot of fun while we do it, because we don't have to be imprisoned in our mind. Go out there and see exactly what he did. Go to Morocco, go to Spain, the Rock of Gibraltar. All these things you can do right here with us. So thank you all very much. I'm gonna open up the line again. Let me go back to you guys. Here we go. All right. Welcome back. Okay, so anybody have anything that they want to talk about? Anybody can unmute themselves. What did you get out of it? Anyone out there? Okay, I see Nadra. Nadra, you're there. Floor is yours.
Yes, I am such a happy camper today. That was such an incredible presentation. And yes, I've seen them before. Yes, I have the DVDs, but today was perfect. Perfect day to see it again and to be, I think the last time I saw it on this platform, there were just a few people, and we had gotten up on this platform up to about 13 or 14 people when I was checking through. And even though some of them have fallen off, especially right at the end, it's just a testament. I mean, number one, we don't know, and we don't know what we don't know. And for you to share this information and for us to begin getting it, reconnecting to it, making our own connections with it, sharing with others, having others to even share this information with, because it's very, very, very challenging oftentimes to be able to introduce others who are not about this work, about this knowledge, to share with us. However, I am so delighted
Yeah. Go ahead.
that we're able to come together, number one, here. Number two, to invite people who are in our lives. Probably for a lot of us on the call, we've been doing our best to introduce this kind of information to our family and friends for years and years. Whereas this kind of a platform, to see the video, to see it all connected the way that it is, helps make a difference for people, because we learn in different ways, we get information different ways, different times, all that. So I'm just a really happy camper. Thank you.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. Yes, it was very informative, and I appreciate that. I think, Angela, you unmuted for a second, and then we'll go over to Nessa. Angela, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, what did you get out of that?
I just wanted to say thank you, King Mott. That was awesome. That I am so enlightened. That's just amazing. You have taught me so much, and that just really added to it. I'm gonna get both DVDs. Like I was saying, my sons are older. I have 2 grandsons that I can start with, because I've just start learning my history through you. And I'm noticing that there's a lot of things referred to Mississippi, which my family is from. And I remember when I was younger, we go every summer, the summer and Christmas, we drive there from California. And I remember going to my Aunt Steen's house, and she was married to a Caucasian man, and they had cotton on their property. So all of this, my cousin and I was just talking about that. I'm going, holy moly, what is the relationship to a lot of things that have happened in Mississippi to our family who is from Mississippi? So I thank you again, and just everything. I'm just so excited. Just so much information. It was very, very awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm just happy that you can get something and illuminate your mind, as Nadra says, in darken us. I like that, so we can, whatever it is, it all comes back to our spirituality, as they talked about the land of the spirit people is Al Kebulan, which is Africa. So I really like that. If you get something and now you can pass it on to your children, your children's children, that means I'm doing something right. We are doing something right. It's not just about me. It's about all of us. Like he says, you, me, and we can change and transform the world. And that's what we're here to do. I had one brother on there. I guess he dropped off. He was in Delaware. I know it was kind of long, but I'm going to be giving him a call back as well. So I'm going to go over here to Nessa. Nessa, you're unmuted. What did you get out of that today, Nessa?
I'm completely blown away with all of the information that I learned today. I would definitely order the DVDs, and I'm definitely going to share this information with my children, with other family members, and hopefully they'll share it with their friends. And it just continues to go on and on and on, because this is the stuff that we need to know. So I was just completely blown away. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, like I said, if you passing it on, that's all I ask. Once you get this information, let other people know, because like Dr. Tika Akua says, my buddy says, they don't teach this in the classroom. We don't know nothing about this. He talks about a lot in there, but we don't get the information that we need. We don't know about our culture, our history. So we look to everyone else to speak and lead us to the wrong way instead of the right way. So I want to thank you very much, Nessa. I'm gonna go over to Sherry. I know, Sherry, you were in a car. I don't know if you can unmute. I don't know if you can.
I can. I'm
Okay, there
here.
you go.
I'm still
All
in
right,
the
then.
car, but I've been listening. Wow. Thank you, first of all. This was amazing today. The introduction was as if, I'm in Harlem. I was in a challenge of exactly what the introduction was about. This whole gentrification, the time period when Clinton came to New York, it was like the banner to say it's safe. Come on uptown. It's not the Harlem that we used to know. It's a different Harlem. Come on, folks, come up and buy the brownstones, and you get them for dirt cheap, because we've got policies in place that are going to make sure that Black folks can't pass it on and inherit wealth. But the buck stops here. I have to say that about 2 hours ago, someone that knew a family member came up to me and said, "Did you know that Harriet Tubman used to bring slaves in your house, and that there is a tunnel from your property to your cousin's property across the backyard?" Now, I immediately, tears welled up, because an hour before, someone said to me, "Sherry, I was looking at your interview online, and Harriet, it's like you're Harriet Tubman." And I wrote her on the Facebook. My reply to her was, "We're all in the same tribe." And I feel that way about this group. I feel that way about you and everyone watching. We are all in the same tribe. The fact that we can take the time out every Sunday to spend whatever time necessary to hear this information, and then begin to say we're going to share it with our children, is profound. There are so many distractions. There's thousands of TV stations, there's thousands of radio stations, there's so many other things we could be doing. And for us every week to be dedicated to say, we're going to change this reality, and we're going to tap into what is truly ours. A lot of the information I've heard before, but the way it was presented this time, it's like it's dusting off layers of gray matter, as I used to call it. It's like you hear something and you know it, but when you hear it again and you can relate it to something else, like the pineal gland, I never heard the connection. I knew melanin, and Dick Gregory actually is the one who told me that it's that whole Cinderella story of her having to get home by midnight. Once again, it's always in plain sight. These folks they know how to take information and hide it in plain sight. So a lot of those little fairy tales we think are only fairy tales, they're not. So Cinderella had to get home before midnight, because you have to be asleep in order for the melanin in your body to be produced. If you doesn't happen, she had to be home by a certain time. So I could go on and on. So I just want to thank you, because you're helping me in my challenge here. I'm walking this walk. I'm not going to, I'm not going to give up what I'm fighting for. And it's not even about not only my family. I want to be able to have a eco-friendly, sustainable brownstone, where if you wanted to do this session in live and in living color, everybody could come and we could just be in a property that has this history, where Marcus Garvey had meetings in the UNIA, where now I'm learning Harriet Tubman came to this property. And I'm going to find, me, I'm going to find that that underground opening. Just need bring some tools home from the job site, but maybe by next Sunday, I'll be able to share how I uncovered that. So thank you for this opportunity to learn more about our history and to apply it to our lives every day.
Well, thank you, Sherry. Man, wow, that's a lot. I understand, what you're going through when he was talking about the gentrification and the housing. You going through that right now, and Clinton coming in, they just come in like, hey, we can just take it. Let's take everything they got, and just moving us out like with nothing. I totally understand. It's going over all over the country. And just, what you're just saying, I didn't know the Harriet Tubman thing, that's my hero right there, so just to have that in your home, and you talked about Garvey and the UNIA. These are things that are so profound, so touching to my heart. So makes me get goosebumps when you say that, like you said. So that's when we're in touch with our ancestors, in touch with our soul and our spirits, and we can all collaborate and have the same thought process, no matter where we are in the world. We still have that in tune with the universe. So thank you very much, Sherry. I really appreciate that. Anyone else have anything to say before we go on? Anybody else? Okay, all right. Nobody. Okay. All right. When they talked about our ancestors, as I said, I come out, I talk in the mornings, I speak with the ancestors, and we talked about the emails and the memory, talking about technology, how we have to have memory all around. They talked about functionality and the capacity that we have to remember things, and the why we're in a lot of the situations right now is because we don't have the memory. We cannot, nobody's telling us about our history or bringing our history to the forefront. And this is why I like Dr. Tika Akua, and he's one of my buddies. And he talked about even writing the books. If you have that inside you, he even has something on there, writing a book in 30 days. If you want to check that out, it's so many things that we have to do here together. And as we say, some of us are in the travel industry. Use your 7 days, go over to the motherland, go see what it is. You have a year, you can do whatever you want. Get your passports, let's go. The travel, they're about to open up the industry. Go do it. Go see our people. Go see the motherland. See how they try to divide and conquer. And he said, when you talk about the Caucasian people or white people, what are they? Deception, disease, death, and destruction. That's what you look at their history. That's what they do. We have to be able to be prepared to deal with that and be able to overcome it. We can't keep making excuses, because excuses build monuments to nothing. And we have to go out there and stand strong. And I know you sisters were out there looking through Senegal wrestlers right there. Hey, like he said, he's over there. You better not leave.
Hey.
Because they over there, how many kids you got? I ain't mad at them, because we are the most beautiful people in the world. You sisters are dynamic. So, I understand that. And as I always say, I give much props to you queens out there, because you're holding down. All you have to do is look around. How many brothers are on this line? I mean, I've talked to brothers, and it's like they run from it sometimes, but I'm still there. I'm still trying to get them, going to get them here. I had one, he fell off a little bit, but we have to get more men involved as well. It's not just one-sided here. We have to come out. I mean, you ladies and queens are doing due diligence. I mean, like I say, I salute you, all that you do, because as you see, it's a battle. It's a battle. And I always tell people we're going to get paid a lot of money to help blind people see, because they are blind. They don't believe in themselves. They've been told not to love themselves. As you see, the European, even in the church, and the Pope, I guarded the Pope for a while, and they kept all the information away from us. They don't like us to have it. Or what they do, they put it in plain sight without us knowing what it is, like the Rock of Gibraltar, the Prudential Rock. You see that all the time, but you wouldn't know that we went over there and did it. King Tariq, amazing, going over and saying, hey, we need to stand up and be the lions as we are as a man. We got to be the lion and the lamb. And as what happened with King Tariq, they had international involvement, but then his daughter got raped by the king of Spain. He said, no, brothers, we getting up, we going over there, and we about to take what's ours. And they stayed over there for over 700 years, not only over there, but implemented so much culture, so much history, so much education that they implemented that it still goes on to this day. I mean, who knew about having air conditioning back in 700, the 700s, 800s, that is amazing. 2,800 years ago, they had so many things out there. It's amazing that we have so much culture and history, but they're trying to erase it. It's like Napoleon. I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but I can go on for days. So I'm gonna give it over to someone else. Let's see. Are you there, Linda? I don't know if you can speak. I know you're doing things sometimes. Can you hear me, Linda?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
speak now for just a minute.
okay.
But oh my goodness, it was so amazing. It just enlightening, and it makes things so much clearer because with this past year, with the election and all the things that are happening, that have been happening, and especially what's happening now, when they're blatantly trying to just roll back things to a previous time, and we're sitting here as it being done in plain sight, and we see it, and it's like, wait a minute. And but it just, listening to our history is clear. This is just who they are. It is a part of the pattern. It's always been like that. They've always tried to take away the things that have been accomplished by Black people. They've always tried to minimize, take credit for what they've done, for what Black people have done, and then hide the evidence of it, destroy the things that were accomplished, changed it, change it in books, take credit for. All of that has always happened. It's always been like that. So because sometimes I wonder what is wrong with these people. And then I traditionally go back to the Europeans and slavery, and because of slavery, but it's deeper than that. It's just who they are. It just kind of reminds me of Francis Cress Wellesley. I don't know if I got her name right, but anyway,
Yes.
with the theory about melanin, it's like, is all of this about melanin envy? Is all of this about insecurity, melanin insecurity? Because it seems like they've always done this and they're continuing to do it. I think it's just so much a part of who they are, they don't even understand it. But unfortunately, we're in a position where our history doesn't connect with us. And as people, we keep living the same story over and over and feel submissive and inferior and non-equipped. And we continue to allow this to happen. But I think learning our history, it will give us more confidence as a people, and it will set things straight so people can see what's going on. They don't want to believe it, but we can see, Black people see what's going on. I think they just feel kind of, what do we do? That's them. White folks are always trying to do stuff to us and all, but they don't really get it. Sometimes I don't really get it. It's so deep. But listening to our history, it just really makes it clear, makes it plain, and it certainly is evidence that we need to spread the word. We need to share this kind of information with as many people as possible, and with young people. And we need to encourage young people to learn our history so that they can feel confidence in who they are and feel proud, and not have to go back to post-slavery, to Du Bois and Carver. I mean, it's way back, it's deep, it's a whole history of our people. So I just think it was so important and so great that you did this. I thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. I had decided not to have you do a special session. What I was going to do was put people on this call, because I thought this part 2 would be good enough. And I wasn't, I actually had forgotten about the call. And when you sent me a reminder text, I did text it out to some people. I looked and they're not on, but I know what to do in the future. It sounds like this is a every Sunday event. So if that's the case, I don't have to wait for you. I can just kind of prepare myself and other people. So thank you so much, Dennis, and all of you guys who are in this network. I really thank you all. We got to continue to support each other and continue to talk and encourage each other. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much, Linda. I really appreciate that and all your wisdom that you have. I really respect you for that. So, it's amazing all the things that we have here and how they just keep trying to suppress us. And, Dr. Tika Akua, I always say it's not about what religion you are, because they have thousands of religions out there. We are spiritual people. It makes no difference. They don't get on us because you're a Baptist, a Catholic, a Muslim, or whatever, Jehovah or Seventh-day Adventist. No, it's because of the melanin you have in your skin, and they just keep doing it to us. And as he said, we have to learn how to be the lion and know how to when to be the lamb, and we have to go ahead and surpass that at all times. LaShawn, you there? You wanted to speak, say anything? There you go, LaShawn.
Hi, everybody. LaShawn in
Hello.
Chicago. Wow. I look forward to this every Sunday, just because I'm always learning something new. And, once again, I have said it before and I'll say it again. What some people have said is, thank you so much, Dennis, for using this platform and, of your time and your effort as well. The more I see this, the more I'm so proud of my own race. And not to say that I never was, but it just makes me so much more proud. And then also, when I'm looking at some of the things that come across, it's like, wow, talk about, like I said last week, the absolute absurdity is just blatantly in our faces of the things that have been taken from us and then turned around and rearranged and, regurgitated back to us. And we're thinking, that we are not of any value, depending on how we were raised. It truly is sad that, this is not knowledgeable enough. And, just like he said, the memory has been erased. And then we turn around not knowing that we're going back to them to have them fix it, which I have said before, and I continue to say again, I don't count on them to do anything for me, wouldn't want to, and wouldn't trust it if it was offered. And the fact that this is available to us and we can order it and share it with our family, it should be in every single household, and we should be educating our own, because look at what happens when we send them to the schools that we have, which is the same thing that we've gone. My platform has been financial literacy, and this just reinforces the reason why we should know our past and share it with everyone that we know, so that we can have a sense of presence. I mean, literally a present to ourselves, to be so proud of who we are, and then moving forward and planning our future and not depending on anybody but ourselves. All of this history, I mean, it's like it's been there. We created it, and wow, I'm just so glad that this is available. So back to you, Dennis. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad that you're getting something out of it. Everybody, I mean, it's always sitting in my mind. What can I do? What can I say? Like Dr. Akua says, as he's doing the tour, he's getting 3 hours of sleep because it's always in his mind. What can he do better? And that's why I'm always going, what can I do better? How can I improve? How can, not just me, how can I relate this to my people to make sure that they can wake up? And because it's just for me is nothing. It's about leverage. If you can do it and I can do it and we can do it now, we pass it on. It just goes on and on and on, like a rock into a ocean or a river, and the ripple effect just goes out and out. And that's what it starts. It may not be many now, but as we keep on striving, because people are waking up, they're becoming more conscious, things that they have in their minds right now, they really want to see it come to. And I love what he talked about earlier. He's talking about how we have to have our history and know, because we have to learn from our mistakes and how to preserve what we have. But if we don't know what had been done in the past, we make the same mistakes now and in the future. So our history is very important. We have to know what we're doing. We talk about being pitch black, Napoleon, how he wanted to wipe out blackness forever, went to Haiti, got his butt kicked. But this is the way they think. They don't even want you to be having anything in history to do with you, or to say that you're a prosperous people, or that you're a positive person. They always want to look at you on a negative light. You talked about the jails, and you talked about all these things that are currently going on right now. And we have to definitely take charge of our lives and educate our youth, as well as the people at our age and beyond, with everyone. I don't care if you're 1 year old or you're 101 years old, it still has to be spoken to. With children, I always say children learn the most between 0 and 5. This is the information that they need to be seeing and hearing when they grow up. We can't always be the goo goo gaga. No. Talk to your children. Talk, even if they're not babies. We still have to have dialogue throughout all our people, no matter what it is and what it said. I see you, LaShawn, you want to say something else? There you go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that during this was going on, I literally had a cousin reach out to me that we don't talk on a regular basis. And she said that she came up with the idea of having a family reunion because we haven't had one in a while, and to do it via Zoom. So I just want to put that out there to everybody that where there's a will, there's a way, and we are the smartest ones to come up with ideas. So back to you, Dennis.
All right, all right. You're right. Have a family reunion. We create it. Just because we have social distancing, there's always a way to overcome it. I think, Kai, you were driving, but I don't know if you wanted to speak. Are you there? Okay, I guess you didn't want to. I don't know. Okay, I just saw it come unmuted for a second. So you're right. Have a family reunion. We can always have dialogue. Keep in the good communication. Communicate. I don't care if it's family, relationship, a child, an aunt, an uncle. We still have to have that dialogue with one another and go on and pass it on no matter what. I'm looking at my notes trying to see because I ain't got my glasses on. But
I was just gonna say something else real quick. A family reunion, in the past used to be so prevalent, and I think it should just be a big comeback now. And because of Zoom, it's much easier. I mean, no one has to get on any type of transportation. They can be at home. They don't have to worry about wearing masks. And the biggest thing is just the memories and the history of our each individual families are being lost when our older generation passes on, and we don't get those pictures, that information, the history, and then we have to try to piece it together. So, this platform, just as a race, and then also in our individual families, we need to keep this vital, because otherwise we are going to lose our own history. And this time we don't have anybody to blame but ourselves. So back to you, Dennis.
That is so true. It's true. Hey, we got to we honor our ancestors, all of that, as you said, get in touch with your family. It's right. It's easy to do on Zoom. Just pull up your phone, pull up your computer, and there you go. So you don't have to be distanced as we are in social distancing. But as I was talking about a little bit earlier, he was talking about Blackest Pitch, how they were talking about the language, how they use language to exclude us from history. Talking about the Berbers and what you black, but you ain't black. Come on, what does that mean? Come on, and we believe we don't know no better, but they put it right in our face, and that's crazy. And I'll talk about how we have to. I love what he had on there when he said, all you have to do is stand up and game is over. Stand up. You see the game where the men were bent over below the game, looked like it was a Monopoly game. All we have to do is stand up. We tear the board up. All we have to do is buy from each other, buy black, do that, work with each other, communicate with each other, spend together, have group economics, start our own businesses. We can do that. And then talk about also how, we're always talking about the criminals or terrorists. It's always a Muslim terrorist, but Christians have been the biggest. European Christians have been the biggest terrorists, and even the Jews. You guys always talk about Jews, this, that, and the other. Jews, I've been over to the Jews, killing Palestinians like it's water, but we don't hear nothing about that because, and if you say something, like you said, you say something about, oh my goodness, it's gonna be on live, something about them is anti-Semitic, but it is what it is. If you're a Jew, hey, no, we love all people. Let me say that. We love all people. We love ourselves first, but we're not doing what others are doing to themselves and trying to implement the negativity and making us look at a low vibration versus the high vibration we have. We built universities, algebra, algorithms, all named from us. Tarif made the tariff, going into other countries. Now you go to customs. All of this is there right in our history, but do we know it? No, it's right under our nose. But they make us seem like we're ignorant. So yes, go ahead, LaShawn, I got you.
I was gonna say, and also, when he told us to say that, read it, like the ingredients, the sugar and all that came from us. And then I remember when he was talking about the information, the book that he took to the prisons and how he got it back and looked like the book was 100-something years old because they had all really gone through it and read it, because what else do they have but time on their hands, but they're thirsty for that knowledge. And how he just wished that we would do the same thing. And we're free. I mean, I'm not free, but we're not in prison and we're not doing, as much as they are, and they are in prison. So, for us not to do as much as we possibly can is a detriment to ourselves now, because now we know better. And that's the thing that, you always say, when you know better, you do better. But, like you said, just the information is blatantly in our faces every single day. And how bold of you to do such a thing, is to strip and rip someone from their history and then turn around and throw it back in their faces and reorganize it as if you're the ones teaching it, and the names, like if I saw some of those names, I wouldn't know that, what nationality they are. And I was so proud to hear that he said, I need to tell you which ones are not Black, because there's so many in there that are Black in regards to the history. So back to you, Dennis.
You're so correct. I just had a breath of well, the Moors did this. Which Moors? The light Moors, the dark Moors? What are you talking about? Because they will have you thinking that the European-ish style people in the Middle East, so-called, where do you get a Middle East from? But they're different. We were from Senegal, all these different Ethiopia, Kush, Kemet, these other names, but we don't know that. They've changed the names in there. And I like when he talked about we built irrigation systems with water and pipes were going through, they were living in, they didn't wash their butts with soap. Okay, let's keep it 100. They didn't wash, they didn't clean, they didn't clothe. We gave them all that. They were diseased, as they always are. And now they're trying to shoot us with disease, if you understand what I mean. So, we don't have those issues. And all we have to do is continue to eat naturally. It's right there in the book. Eat your fruits, your vegetables. Go ahead and do that. Take your moringa. All these things that are natural, we don't get sick. We don't do that. But they are all these disease infested, destruction. And we're very healthy, as Nadra knows. If we eat properly, we're great. Okay. All right, Kai, I see your hand in there. I'm gonna let you go ahead because I know you're driving and sometimes you cut in and out. Kai, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
What I got out of that, yes, like you said, we need to eat more naturally. And, and thinking about that is we really got hoodwinked and tricked and miseducated, because people often talk about, they associate diabetes with being a Black thing, but it's really about how we're eating. So it's not, oh, well, because diabetes ran in my family. No, poor eating could run in a family, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not trying to give advice on that, but I am just saying from what I've seen and, from people in my family, those are things that I got out of it. The other thing that I really liked about this is a few things. One, him acknowledging his wife, because it is important that, that we acknowledge our families, that we acknowledge our significant other, our children, but also he talked about what is your family's mission statement, and that you should create a mission statement for your family, because if you don't, society will. And that's the messed up thing about this, is that that we've allowed other people to define us. So a lot of our youth, and I work at a shelter with teenagers, they're going by what society is telling them that they're cool. And I also do hair. And for a lot of my friends and their children, and a lot of these young guys, they're looking at what other people are doing as the trendsetters. So whatever someone else is saying, this is a thing to do, that's what they gravitate to. But we need to really set a tone of what our children should be admiring, what they should value, and just start creating our own mission statements. I know now that I'm a grandmother and my grandson is too, my family has started to change the types of things that we say, because sometimes we just say things and it became normal in our circles to say negative things, and even things that we might not realize. Like, I have a relative that would say, beat it, meaning like, leave me alone or get away from me. And my grandson out of nowhere, has said it. And it was like, wait, where did he get that from? But he's listening to what other people are saying. So now we're like, okay, we need to rephrase everything that we say, because any little thing that we say that we're not thinking is a big deal, now it's reflective. And, so what do we want to reflect back to us? So we need to set that tone. And then the other thing that I did like is when he talked about the Adinkra symbols, because Geniame, that's my favorite symbol, has been for a long time, the omnipotence of God. and just really talking about the Dinkra symbol and its meaning. So it's really important that we start looking back at who we are, so that we could start teaching our children the truth, and not just our children, but all of our people, because there's a lot of grown folks that don't know the culture, you know, which is why it's so important to me that I do hear that my friends know, you know, okay, Kai is that person. You want locks, give Kai a call, because we need to start really reclaiming who we are as a people and defining ourselves. Back to you.
All right, you're so true, so true. I like what you said about that kid thing. I always say kids, you know, they pick up like sponges. They say, beat it. Oh, you wasn't doing Michael Jackson, beat it. No, just kidding. Wasn't watching it like my granddaughter told me. I showed her a picture of Michael Jackson in the past and as Michael Jackson as he was in later in life. She said, that ain't no dang Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson white. But that's what they see. So, you know, it's amazing how we look at things and how they see things and how we have to watch what we say or enlighten them on what they do. And going back to what I was talking about, how, you know, we are the language that they messed up. Go ahead, LaShawn.
No, I was just gonna say that when they mention about air conditioning, I could hear a lady in the background going, say, what? You know, it's like they had air conditioning back then. And then just the fact that the fragrance because of the garden. So all of this stuff is been there. We just didn't know we were a part of it and that we created it. And yeah, it is just so much. Back to you, Dennis.
Yes, it is. I was talking to a 17-year-old today who's going through hard times in LA. He wants to do something. He's got a 4-year-old kid. He wants to bring his family out. I mean, you just can imagine every day he's out selling candy in front of stores, you know, but he's hustling to make it. And, you know, he talks about how people try to bring him down. And I told him, hey, I can help you out. If you want to change that, I have something that we're going to do. And you can hang around people who are making money, change your paradigm. Whoever you're around, that's who you become. So let's change what you're doing. And he was, you know, I talked to him today. So he's going to get on a webinar with me on Thursday and talk to him. And we're going to move him out of what his situation that he's in. So we always want to help somebody, each one teach one. And we go out there and do that consistently. And they always come out there with that language trickery, as Chika Akua said when he was in the church, and they with the talking white, and what is it? Who somebody said you can't have Satan and the Savior, you know, and in that color, you know, the oppressor. What is it? The powerful will never educate you. Never educate the powerless to overthrow their power, and they'll never do it. So we have to understand that they're not going to suppressor. They suppressed you for a reason. They have you there for a reason. They're not going to show you something that's going to uplift you. And until we understand that narrative and we go out and build our own schools, like Dr. Chika Akua is doing, has a school, even if it's kindergarten to 5th grade, let's start doing something. We have to take action. There's no more time to sit back and be procrastinating. I always was told passiveness causes others to pass us by. So we have to go out there and change the narrative, change the direction that we're going. Stand up. No more sitting down being silent. Oh, that's all right. I'm gonna sit back. No. Stand up, like Bob Marley said. Get up, stand up for your rights. You know, we got to stand up and fight for it. It's no other way than to do that. Let me see what else did I have down here. So many things. How the church kept the knowledge from us. The numbers, we made all the numbers instead of doing the Roman numbers, 1, 2, 3, 1V. I mean, all the things, the algebra, the trigonometry, everything was made by us, from us, evolved from us. And we have to be able to go out and let them know that we have Black love and Black power, and everything started with us, because if we know that it started with us, now we have the fortitude and the positivity and the courage and the demeanor to go out and pass it on to others. Because if we don't, we sit down and we don't want to be that. We're not on low vibration. We're putting this out to the universe. Each one of you have seen this. It's your duty. It's your responsibility to pass it on. It's no more sitting by the sideline talking, let's let the next person do that. No, you have seen this. It is your responsibility, and you are responsible to pass this information on to someone else. All right, LaShawn, go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking of in regards to the martial arts and how now, you know, they're doing the same thing as the AFW here. And even back then, how they, you know, saw the different positions of defense, and then turn around and stole those to use to fight, against us and, other armies as well, back in the history. So it just keeps going, it's like an ongoing thing. And the longer that time goes on, it's like how much more that we don't know about, that's been taken from us. So back to you, Dennis.
That is correct. That's why I like Chico, historians who go out, Ivan Van Sertima, all kinds of people go out and do the research, because we don't know. They will hide it from you and you will not see it. They want to wipe us out, period. So why would they tell you what's going to evolve your race and raise you up and go to the evolution of the next level? That's not what they're here to do. They keep putting you down, and that's their job. I'm not mad at them, but we have to do for ourselves like every other race, the Koreans, the Japanese. And I like what you talk about the martial arts when he said to be a samurai, you have to have some black blood in you, or else you're not a samurai. We have to, that's a way. And when you went to the Montagnards and the Vietnamese, you go over there, the Philippines, their martial arts all are through us. When I was in the Philippines, you had your white Philippines and your black Filipinos. We always said that. We know with the music, I love what he said too. The music moves your soul. I love that. We create the music. And I always see people always say, I have Christians that I know that go to church and they're talking about the gospel. No, it can be any type of music will move you, because we are rhythmic. They had us fooled on that, but it's rhythm, it's music. Music moves our soul. That's why we're great at it. Prince, Michael, whoever, Luther, whoever you name, they have great vocal, and you hear the soul in it. And just like they said with the medicine, medicine, heals your body. Music heals your soul. We're all rhythmic, and we go ahead and meditate. We have to meditate to get in tune with ourselves so we can go out and help someone, because you can't help anyone if you can't help yourself. I always say is health, wealth, and knowledge of yourself. We have to have all three. Can't just have one without the other, you're not good. The other one, not good. You have to have, can't do nothing if you ain't healthy, number one. Right, Nadra, you there? Nadra there?
I'm here.
Can't do nothing if you're not healthy, right?
That's right. You tell me something somebody can do and they're not healthy.
All right. And then you got to have your wealth, because once you get your health, you got to get your money right. You got to have knowledge of yourself. We would say knowledge of yourself first, but we have been taken from that, stricken from us with the education system, and you've been in that as well. And I've talked to teachers that don't even know who Mansa Musa is. How are you teaching people, and you're African-American or black, and you don't know who Mansa Musa is, or you don't know anything? So, I'm not blaming them, but you're an educator. So if you're in that field, educate our people. We know all about European King James, King this, King that, Abraham Lincoln. You don't know nothing about anybody. Queen Ani, Queen Nzinga, King Tut. You don't know about that. I've been to Texas, where they told me that blacks don't even exist in Egypt. They're not black. I'm like, where'd you get that from? He said the 10 Commandments. So I see what you're watching on television, they're believing. And that's so bad for our people watching Real Housewives of Atlanta and stuff like that. And I think that's the way we act on a normal. No, it's not. It's not the way we act on them. That's what they want us to be portrayed. And when I talk to my brothers and sisters from Africa, they say before they come here, they watch certain things and are told not to communicate with us, because if they do, they can be deported. I'm not saying that all of them, but I'm just talking about from my experience, me talking to them, what they say. So, we have to go ahead and change the narrative, go out there and be prosperous at whatever we do, because we have to lead by example. And that's why we're talking about group economics. Go ahead and work together, spend your money with each other. It's not where you make your money, it's where you spend your money, because we spend a lot of money giving it away to other races. When we have a place right now that you've just seen, you can spend your money with us as well and also prosper as a people. So that's pretty much what I have to say. I think I've talked about, I'm talking about Timbuktu. I can go on and on. He went on a lot of stuff, but the Sinhalese.
The other thing was, some kid thought that Martin Luther King was still alive, or didn't even know anything about, him. So, yeah, you can't leave it up to somebody else to educate our kids. Not anymore.
Not anymore. That ship has sailed and gone. So I want to thank you all. If anybody have any closing remarks before we get out of here? I really thank you all for being here. I just want to thank you all. Anybody have anything they want to say or want to bring up? Nadra, you unmuted? Anything?
Yeah, I would like to simply put on everyone's mind that even when we go back to creation stories, everything started in darkness. And we have to recognize that dark and black are terms that white folks use to make sure that they twist it and turn it so that we don't get that it's us if it's positive. And that if there's something negative, they put that on us. So language is critically important because you have had this portion right now, and this is just a teeny weeny portion of our herstory, our history of us being the oldest peoples on the planet for the longest amount of time and in peace. It's like if you take your whole body and you put a flea or a flea jumps on you, it's such a tiny speck compared to the rest of you. But if you don't stop it from biting you, it's going to create a problem that as it itches and you scratch it and you don't take care of it and on and on and on, it becomes a major thing that can take over your whole body and you die, right? So my point about all this is this information that was received today, as well as all the other information that we've received, is such a vital portion of every single waking moment of our day. And again, you know, then get your butts in bed by 11:45 so that when midnight happens, now which part of the world, right? No, but bottom line, we are regenerated. Black folk are regenerated at night. Rest is of critical importance. And it is at that time that if you begin paying attention, that if you go to bed, especially before midnight, and you rest at least until 3 or 4 in the morning, which is when the world opens up. If you get up at 3, you'll begin to notice that the wind will begin to blow and the light begins to kind of creep up. There's just all of these different elements of natural rhythmic things that we have always had, that we have always known, that white folks, even when they attempt to use and or do what we do, it doesn't translate the same way. So especially for any of you who are dark skinned, just know that you got some of those extra special qualities that the rest of us who are called black too, we don't have that. So the gem that exists in you is magnificent. All the rest of us are magnificent, but honor that blackness because that is one of the things that holds and keeps you with a particular kind of quality, especially when you tap into this information. I'm done, sort of.
All right. Thank you very much. And hey, you said it again, you know, from the rooter to the tutor. Anyway, I want to thank you all for joining us. You know, if you want to like and subscribe to my channel below, which I'm gonna be putting more content out there on YouTube. My channel on YouTube is DMJ, the African Group, spelled with a K, African with a K, DMJ, the African Group. And if you guys ever want to travel anywhere, I'll put that up there. If you want to order those DVDs, let me put that back up there for you guys. If you want to get
put it in the chat, both of them?
I'm gonna put it up here right quick. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if you can see this. Can you see that? No?
Not yet. Yep,
Okay.
there it is.
Okay. So you guys, if you want to order it online, you can get any any of the products, any soaps, anything that you might find stuff out there that you like. Go ahead on the site dmjtag.biz, take a look at it, go ahead and order whatever you need. And if you guys are looking to travel for less or anything, or you just want to go ahead and book something, let us know right there. You can look at either one of those. Travel the world, go see your heritage, go see what you have out there. dmjtag.clubs give you the great discounts. dmjtag.com is just like the Expedia, Orbitz, Travelocity, that site like that. So let us know. And if you want to go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel below, as I said, it's DMJ, the African group. That's on YouTube, and you can go ahead and take a look at that. Like and subscribe to my channel. If you like it, get more likes, and the more people I have on there, the better it is for myself, and it can also be communicated to more people throughout the diaspora, our African diaspora, the Pan-Africanism, or whatever the case may be. So I want to thank you all. You have anything to go before we go, LaShawn?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So thank you all. Stay tuned. And on Sundays also, if you want to get the Meta Netter, which Shuna wasn't on here, she does it every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. She does that. I'll find out. I don't have it right now, but she does the Meta Netter. You can go ahead and find out everything. I always say when you go, the deeper you go, the blacker it gets. And you just saw 2,800 years ago, they were doing things and we don't even know about it. So thank you all very much again. And I'll see you guys on the beaches, adventures of the world, even going out to Africa. We're going to put a trip together. Hey, I like what Chica's doing right there. One day we're going to, probably 2022, 2023. I'll make it 2023 to make it so I can get it all together. But go to a trip to Africa and put that together. Maybe I'll do it before that. But I like what he did, and we need to go out there and do the same thing. So thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back here next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Do it before
Bye.
then.
Okay.